Hello, friends. Good afternoon and good day to you, friends and everyone. Let's clear something up really quick. There are many misconceptions about the Christian lifestyle. One of them being that Christians can't have any fun, that they can't do much, not much they can do, they can't have any fun, they have to live in a box, basically. Is that really the case? No, not the case. Short answer, not the case. No, because actually the Christian lifestyle is a lot more fun than the non-Christian lifestyle. In fact, there is more joy and fun in being a Christian. As followers of Jesus, there is plenty of work to do, first of all, like telling someone about the gospel, for one thing, doing volunteer work, helping someone in need, or studying the Bible. Those are good things to do. Those are things to do as Christians. But what about like activities and stuff? As far as recreation, there are many things that one could do as a Christian. There's painting, writing. I'm personally a writer and an artist myself. I draw and all that, and write. I write books. I write books, stories. I like to write stories. I enjoy that. I enjoy drawing. So there's that. There's sewing. There's planting. There's studying, or experimenting with something within your field and other things as well. You can study it. If they say you're taking up something within your field or something you find interesting, like science, you can study that in during leisure time, which I kind of play around with that as well, studying something in your field, and among other things. We are told in Philippians 4:8, that we are to focus on and what is honest. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. So those are things we can think on, and whatever's true, whatever's honest, whatever's pure, we think on those things and meditate on those things as well. However, doing all these things or anything else without God in your life, without knowing God, would at some point get boring. Some, if not many people, get bored with a job, a hobby, or even their marriage, simply because they don't have God in their life, they don't know God. We're told in Psalm 16:11 that in God there is fullness of joy and pleasures at his right hand forevermore. Those who live godly and keep him first in their life will never get bored of anything because they will be content, meaning they will be happy with what they do at all times. They'll be always happy with what they do at all times and what they have. That's contentment. For example, two people could be sitting side by side in the same church, listening to the same music and hymns that the choir sings every week. The same hymns, same church, same hymns that the choir may sing every week. One of them would be engaged in the music to the point of tears, to the point where they bring their tears because they enjoy the music, because they're touched by the music, they're touched by it, they touch their heart because they just enjoy hearing those songs. You know, they hear it every week, they always get touched by it every time they hear it, while the other person is uninterested and bored with it, or they can look bored or uninterested. The difference might be that one has a solid devoted relationship with God and are content, and the other one could be a lukewarm Christian and not totally devoted to God. So that could be a difference. One's devoted to God totally, wholeheartedly. The other one could be lukewarm. That's the difference. But they both in church, sitting side by side. Now think about the things you like to do. Think about things you like to do and see if they line up with Bible principles. Things you like to do, you love to do, you're passionate about, see if it lines up with Bible principles. Will it hurt me? Will it hurt me? Or will it hurt you? Will it, or someone physically or mentally? Will it hurt you or someone physically, mentally, or spiritually? Does it promote immorality or anything that's against God? Will it edify me? Will it teach me something about God or nature? Nothing is bad within itself. We can make it bad by using it, if somebody uses it for their own personal agenda, one can make something bad by using it for their own personal agenda or for promoting immoral filth. Even the Bible itself can be made into a weapon if someone misquotes scriptures and use it for their own agenda, like for monetary gain, or to incite war, or to simply deceive. So the Bible in that way could be used as a weapon, but the Bible is a good thing, but it could also be made into a weapon, a bad thing. Every good and perfect thing comes from God. God made the world for us to live in and to satisfy all five of our senses. He made the world for us to live in, and he gave us five senses, and he created things to satisfy all five of those senses. For instance, he made food for us to eat, taste, eat. He made music for us to hear and listen to, and to enjoy. Sceneries of nature, the sceneries of nature, for us to look at, to see and look at and admire. A variety of roses and flowers for us to smell, and a variety of animals and people for us to maybe pet and touch and talk to. Who do you think created laughter? Who made laughter? Who made fun? Who created laughter in the first place? Who gave us the intelligence to and knowledge? Who gave us the intelligence and knowledge and the ability to learn? Who gave us that? Who gave us that ability? Who gave us that gift? The gift of intelligence and knowledge and the ability to learn. Who gave us the power of creativity? Who gave us a brain and a mind to imagine things? The answer is God. God gave us these things, all these things, but he wanted us to use it for good. He wanted us to make good things, good inventions, not bad things like weapons and war. He intended for us to use these gifts that he's given us for good, for the good and the benefit of us, and to glorify him. Now, what about movies and video games? One could watch maybe a good clean movie that doesn't promote violence, sex, bad language, or anything else against God. There's nothing bad within itself about acting or acting in front of a camera. I mean, that's really no difference than your kids playing, and you record your kids playing. I mean, if you record your kids playing with a camera or anything like that, that's kind of no different than watching actors on the screen in front of a camera in a movie. They're just playing or acting. So there's not much difference there, not really. So it's nothing bad within itself about acting in front of a camera. There's no different. It is actually no different than one writing a novel to tell a great story. Movies is just simply storytelling in front of a camera, with people acting it out, nothing more. It is possible to make a high-grossing movie without violence, sex, cursing, and anything else immoral. In fact, there are some great classic shows and movies from like the 50s and even today that are enjoyable, still enjoyable today, without violence or anything immorality, anything immoral or dirty. I don't know about you, but I would be quite shy. I don't know about you, but I would be quite shy and ashamed to take off my clothes in front of a camera. I wouldn't care how much they pay me. I wouldn't care about how much they will pay me. I'd rather maintain my dignity and self-respect. I wouldn't want nobody seeing my anything I don't want them to see. So they say what goes on the internet or the TV stays on the internet. So they say what goes on the internet, what you put out on the internet, how you present yourself on the internet or on TV stays there. It stays there permanently. It's permanent. It permanently stays on the internet, permanently stays on TV. However you put yourself out there, that stays permanent on the internet and television, whatever it is. And that's what your kids are going to see eventually. They might see. Your kids might see that if you have kids. And others will see that as well. Your generations will see that. So your parents. So I wouldn't think anyone would want their kids or parents or anyone to see a dirty picture or video of themselves. I wouldn't think that. I certainly don't. I certainly wouldn't. And as far as video games, a simple game like Pong, Tetris, Pac-Man, and Mario, or even driving games, may be clean and not bad. So several games like that may not be bad. Once again, programming and making a video game is not bad within itself. It's not much different than board games. It's not much different than board games. Video games are just what they are, games on video instead of having real people in front of a camera. But instead of using people in front of a camera, live people, they use animation, fictional characters, cartoons basically. They use them on a computer and they are coded and programmed to carry out certain commands. Same with cartoons, same thing. So kind of the same thing on these video games, and it's kind of the same thing as cartoons. So there are also fun things Christians can do, like bike riding, camping, hiking, mountain climbing, gardening, traveling, collecting minerals, maybe, or collecting anything as a hobby, or anything else, and the list just goes on. But remember, all of that is nothing without a relationship with God and contentment. If you're not content and happy with what you're doing with what you have, all that's nothing. You'll get tired of that eventually without God, because all that's nothing without God. So put your trust in God and get to know Him and live for Him, and nothing you do will ever get boring. Not work, not anything. Because think about this. Consider this. The sun, or the same sun, the same planet, same Earth rotates around the sun every day. That's been going on for the last like 6,000 years, for as long as we've been around. So that means that's the job basically of nature. That's the job of the Earth, is to go around the sun. So rotate around the sun. That's pretty much its job. It rotates. All the same things in nature act the same way all the time, every day on a daily basis. The birds sing, everything is always day and night. So, I mean, is there anything wrong about that? Can the sun get boring? Can the stars get boring? Doing the same job, the animals doing the same job every day. The same thing, the same function that God made it to do every day. I don't think that the sun and all these things get boring, and everything, if that's what God created to do. So, just think about that, keep that in mind. If anybody gets bored with their work or anything, doing the same job, do the same thing every day. The same job or the same thing or whatever every day. So, food or cooking too, there's also cooking as well. So, you want to cook. If they like to cook and everything, like to eat. So, I personally like to eat everything. So, I'm not going to talk too much about like the theater and movies and everything, because that's no another topic. For those, because that's kind of a debatable topic actually, whether or not Christians should go to movies. That's another debatable topic. I want to talk about that probably in a separate video. In a couple of videos from now, maybe I'll talk about that. So yeah. So basically, there's all kind of things that Christians can do. We don't have to live in a box. Christians don't live in a box. They don't have to. So they just, I know that some churches and maybe some, people might take Christianity and think it's, the way they teach it and the way they, do with their services, their religious services and practices, they may make it seem all boring and all dull and everything, and make God seem formal and boring, like he's kind of just a corporate CEO or something like that. You just come off as boring and everything. Well, that's far from the truth. So, God created laughter. God created all these things for our enjoyment. He created the world. God is a fun God. He has a sense of humor. Just read, let's say the Gospels and all that. The things that Jesus say makes it, come off as he's more fun and he has a sense of humor. So for that's going to conclude this video. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. If you like anything you see or hear, just like and subscribe it. And I will talk to you guys next time. God bless.